What's up, everybody? Once again, it's your boy Randy, aka Mr. Good Morning. Welcome to my adventures. Today, what we have is a back workout featuring my boy Sean, the Gilly Monster Gilly, and my best friend Michael, Petty Ready Petty. What you see us doing right here is a bag drag. It's an exercise we came up with, just kind of playing around with some things in our personal training room. And what I actually did is have these guys get on here so that I can add some extra resistance to the bag. This is one of my last sets. You'll see a different angle later on. I kind of gave them a hard time about going back to back. I kind of wanted them to sit, one on top of the other, but I guess they had problems with their confidence and all that good stuff. Anyway, as you see, I pulled hand over hand going down, and then I snatched the rope coming back to give it a different type of muscle stimulation for those lat muscles and lower back muscles. As always, what you see me wearing here is the Cool Fit vest. It's a cooling vest designed to help keep my core temperature at 58 degrees, which helps to increase my endurance, stamina, and it also helps with fat burning. If you're interested, you can check those guys out at coolfit.com. As I come to the end of my bag drag here, you see I have both of these guys on the bag. They're a little bit smaller than I am, so when it came up for their turn, they actually both pulled me individually. And as you can see, I don't get to play around for the camera a whole lot because I'm usually working out, so that's probably a good thing because they were probably getting a little frustrated with me giving them a hard time as they were pulling. All jokes aside though, it's a very, very tough exercise, and it's really good for those lats, lower back, and it's a really functional movement as well. As always, we always start with the dynamic warm-up, and this is what we chose for today, to get all those muscles engaged so that by the time we start doing the real work, we're sweaty and ready. You can see here, Sean's kind of a strong young lad. He pulled me a little harder than I expected. I almost fell off the bag. Alright, here's Mike. Mike made it look easy. He's very, very strong. Don't let his size fool you. He's got a really, really strong CrossFit background, so all these unconventional movements are pretty easy for him to pick up on. And I've trained with him for years, and we always try to do different things and switch it up so that our bodies stay guessing. There he is, wiping his shoes. Time I was just playing, guys. Like I said, yet again, it's probably not a good idea for me to be able to play in front of the camera. As you can see, I'm kind of goofy, and these guys know that as well. Here's that bag drag from another angle. I thought it was pretty cool. Sean suggested it, and we shot it this way, and it turned out better than I expected. Yet again, they are back to back. I tried to convince them to go one on top of the other, but they decided that it wasn't worth it. So here's what we got. Next exercise here is the single arm TRX Row plus Reach. It's a really, really good move for the lats, and it kind of mimics you pulling a bow and arrow string. So that's one of the reasons I really like it. It's a dynamic movement for that back. And once again, I always use the TRX as much as possible in all of my workouts. I'm affiliated with the company as a level 2 instructor and a member of the core program. And here's Mike. As you can see, his grip is a little different. His hand wasn't quite big enough to hold both handles, so you can hold the bottom of the strap as well and get the same benefit. And that strap at the bottom is actually called the foot cradle. Just put your hand in there, it's not going to break. Those cargo straps are really strong and they can hold quite a bit of weight. And it's my turn. As you can see, I'm taller than those guys, so my range of motion is a little greater, but it all affects the muscle the same way. So no sweat, everybody was equally fatigued after this exercise. Pulling and reaching, stretching that lat out and getting some good work on that lat muscle. Here we are with the Jug Row. My good buddy and friend and fellow trainer, Robert Pagenkoff, brought in 2 jugs full of sand, and that's what we decided to do our rows with. I'm guessing they weigh around 80 pounds a piece. And we did single arm rows, and then we followed it directly with a shrug. The thing about these jugs is they're kind of unwieldy because the weight is shifting on the inside of that jug, so it takes a lot more concentration to actually row that type of uncommon equipment. And like I said, we finished with the shrug, and it was burning as you see me shaking my hand. At that point, I'd probably say, good morning. And here's Mr. Petty. He decided to take a neutral grip. I went with the pronated grip just to give you guys a different angle, different view. Kind of affects the muscle in a different way, but not enough to make a big stink about it. So for the sake of film, we decided to use a couple different grips here. And here he is on his shrugs. As you can see, those first 2 exercises really got us in the zone. So everything we're doing from this point on is extremely effective because we're so pre-exhausted. And last up, we've got Superman himself, Sean the Gilly Monster Gilly. He too chose that neutral grip. And he's just rowing away. I told him he can't wear a Superman shirt without flying to the gym, so hopefully next time he'll take my advice, but it looked good for the video, so I'll accept it, I guess. And here's Superman shrugging. I was expecting at any point for him to take off and bust through the roof, but I guess somebody had left some kryptonite in one of those jugs. And just for the sake of film, I decided to do both jugs at the same time, which was a horrible idea. Well, it wasn't a horrible idea for my muscles, they responded to it, but it was very difficult because that sand kept shifting around in those bottles, and it made it really tough. And here I am with my last set of shrugs. And here we go, the good old classic deadlift. We did several sets here, and we just decided to film our heaviest sets. We only did a few because we were really tired from those earlier exercises. But you see Sean here, just getting back into deadlifting, so we didn't let him go too heavy. But as you can see, he's doing this pretty smooth, so the next couple of weeks or so we'll be able to throw some more weight on the rack for him. Here's Mike. Like I said, he's got a strong CrossFit background, and deadlifting is one of the strongest exercises, as you can see here. Makes it look like Luckily, I muted the volume here. I probably said some things that I shouldn't have said on the camera, but I turned all of that down so you couldn't hear it. And you just get to hear my lovely voice right now. From there, we finished off with lat pull down. And what we did is decided to do an over and under style grip for variation. So we did one set overhand, and then we did another set underhand, just to take that muscle all the way to failure. The first couple sets were very heavy, and that's why we only did less than 10 reps. But you'll see later that I'm actually going to do a set to failure as well, just for the camera. Here's Superman, aka Sean, the Gilly Monster Gilly, getting his set in. Though he didn't fly to the gym, he is built like Superman, so I guess he can pull off wearing that shirt. And that's the last thing I'll probably say about it. And here I dropped the weight just a bit, and we're taking this round all the way to failure. Overhand grip helps to work the muscles across the upper back, and then that underhand grip actually helps to widen those lats and pull out that lower lat as well. So that's why the variation between the two, and that's why we incorporated the finish off the big muscles of the back. Last set of underhand grip. These were terrible. My lats were on fire at this point, but that's why we do it, right? We get better every time. Here's Mike's set. That one, he's like a robot, right? Not too bad for a CrossFitter, if I do say so myself. Just kidding, I got no beef with any CrossFitters. Just this one in particular. He's gonna kill me when he hears this.
OGK.
And that's gonna wrap it up for us, guys. As usual, thanks as always for watching. Join us on the next adventure. Good morning. Check out a couple links and codes for my sponsors. Once again, we say thanks. This video was filmed on location at Anytime Fitness in Panama City, and music by OGK Beats.